Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to be here on this Monday morning, starting off one of the last weeks of the summer, last week of August for sure, and we're looking at a situation where it's going to be a fairly nice day. Our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and his hard-working crew up there in Southport. Look, it's going to be 86, low 73, water temperature 86. It sounded like a sort of a broken record last week or two, but I know last week we just had some rainy, stormy weather. Hopefully this week's going to be a little bit better. Wind direction will be coming out of the west at about 5 to 8, so that's not bad. Our moon phase, our Monday moon phase, we're having a new moon coming up this Friday. Friday night will be the new moon. Okay, our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today, Monday, August the 22nd, and we've got a great week of tides, like every other week pattern that we've seen so long here on the show. We talk about it on a regular basis, but the patterns are very consistent. So we're going to have the actual high tide this morning at 6:25. We're about to have a high tide, and then it's going to be low tonight at 6 o'clock. So it's got a strong outgoing tide, getting some of those channels and fish outgoing tide. That's where the bait will get washed down those channels. And those big fish, the big old red fish will be like that, and a big trout. It's as simple as that. Fishing is not a complicated situation. Our, like I say, our wind direction coming out west. Let me mention something real quick. I have a situation where I have a young man. He's in his 20s. He works for a law enforcement agency. He's had some health problems, and he's looking for a lease, a good hunting lease. I know it's late in the season, but if you have room for one person, he really has this passion for hunting. That's really his go-to thing as far as having something relaxing is hunting. And he just loves to hunt, and he's in a situation where he's had some rough times lately, and he just really wants to get on a good lease and just be around some good folks. And if you have room for one person, they'll be glad to pay. It's nothing. There's not a charity case or anything like that. He just wants to, get out in the woods, and you know that feeling. So please get in touch with me if you have a situation like that. Anywhere in the Panhandle, even maybe in the South Alabama. He works Monday through Friday, like I say, with a law enforcement agency. So if you would, young 20s, good man right there. So I really want to help him find a hunting lease. Okay. All right. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Of course, I want to thank Bill and Greg for taking the show last week with that one day, and we had some great video. Got a lot of comments on the floundering video, and it's a very good week last week. So hopefully we'll get another good week. And Gail and I got to spend some time down at the Cape and do a little bit of scalloping. Just had a great time. But it's great to be back. Great to share all this with you. And so we have a lot of pictures that have accumulated. Now, if you send me an email or text and maybe I didn't answer it, please let me know again. Sometimes the reception's not good down there, which is not a bad thing. And sometimes it's good. But when we get a call from Wendy or Chip or somebody with the kids, you sort of want to, we move around on the back porch like the old days to find a good signal. All right, let's start on these pictures. Here we have our buddy Blake Sutherland. He's been on the show before. Blake with the Not So Serious Saturday tournament. He's with his dad. That's Blake, okay? All right, okay. Some middle-aged men spend money on golf clubs, cars, boats, but not my dad. He uses his money for blowguns to shoot snakes without pants. That's Tim. There's Tim Sutherland. If you see him around, that is actually a blowgun. That is, you don't see those anymore. But I've got to get Tim to come here and talk about his blowgun and shooting snakes without a ditch. Is that not a throwback to being a kid? Oh, look, last week, Whitney was released from the doctor, and the first thing she wanted to do was get on the road and come see her grandma and granddaddy. And she wanted to come down to the studio, and she wanted to see Jeff and say hello to Jeff. So I got a picture of Jeff and Whitney. She's doing well. Thank you for all the prayers. And she said, thank all of y'all for your prayers and thoughts. She's doing good, okay? She's doing better. Okay. I took her out to State Park. We go out there to State Park, and we had 3 days of Whitney, whatever she wanted to do, and she loves the same thing we love. Went out to State Park. You see the deer hidden in there? She actually saw it first. We were riding by. She said, "Deer." and she used to say that as a little kid. And she hid in back there at the state park. Then we went out to Schooners and got a schooner burger and did our last day of the summer swim. So we had a wonderful time with her, and doing good now. I ran across this. That should say scars hurt. They're talking about the grass especially scallop season now, where you cut across. This was at the state park boat ramp right there in St. Andrew, but this little poster was there. So I thought it was a good poster because it actually had a cut through the poster itself. So if you don't run in shallow water, we talk about it each year, avoid the grass if you can, and then get your trim up. And most of us locals know that. All three of those, I've done all three of them. We pushed it off before. Sometimes I don't care, you get caught up there, but you push it out if you can. So that this time of year, especially a lot of folks scalloping and all. Check this out. You think that's a clean shark bite right there? That was a big fish. So that was a big shark. I've got a picture of that all summer. Chuck Oliver, a nice redfish, caught on live pinfish, and he released it. It was just under 18 pounds. That's a big red, okay? Good job, Chuck Oliver. Paul Thrasher. Paul is a consummate outdoorsman. He throws a mean mullet net. He can really cast a net good. And look at here. Good day to be outside. We were talking about on the fishing report last week, we were talking about the mullet are coming in. Now, this is a fine catch of mullet. In fact, I saw some pictures later where he had them all fried up. Not all of them, but he had a big mess of them. Good job, Paul Thrasher. Okay, real quick, we had the Redfish series last week here in Panama City. I'll give you the first three places. Emerald Coast Redfish Circuit. It was here locally. Okay, first place team. Here we go. First place of Bubba Bodiford and Bo Sullivan. Two local guys there. All right, second place. These are no strangers to redfishing. How about Fred Myers and Carter Myers? Okay, and third place, another local, the Iford brothers, Dennis and Kevin Iford. Two fine fishermen, guys that love to fish, and I love to see these guys at tournaments and all this. They're all three of those, just first, second, third. Good job, fellas. So anyway, we'll get to we have these tournaments. I get a kick out of them because these guys are consistent. They're always up there in the top five, all three of them, and usually placing and all. And it's really neat. So I would encourage you to get a little tournament like that. That's like a local tournament. Hits the Panhandle area. A good way to get started if you're interested in tournament red fishing. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Getting adjusted around here. Let me show you something real quick. I run across all kinds of funny things. It doesn't have anything to do with outdoors. It's just hilarious. I cracked up when I saw it. I want to share it with you. Parents always get this kind of feelings, and sometimes it's just a joke now. When your kids misbehaving somewhere in a grocery store or somewhere like a ball field or something, all parents, here the video is, all parents want to do this. All parents want to do this with a kid. They got this kangaroo. Look at all the other kangaroos looking at them. That kid's misbehaving, so just pick them up. It's what all parents want to do when the kids won't behave themselves. Okay. Isn't that hilarious though? I showed that again, we both cracked up at it. Behave yourself. All right. Okay, so anyway, I just want to share that with you for your humor. I hope you appreciate the humor we have here in Panhandle Outdoors on a Monday morning. Okay, a couple other things too. One announcement, people ask about the crickets and all. I want to go, here's their address. This is really interesting. Get a hold of these people. It's Fluker Farms Customer Care. They've been in business since the 1950s out in Louisiana. This is for crickets and worms, because some of y'all ask about them. So Mike Edwards sent this. He's got his cricket farm going, and this is he deals with these folks out there. So that's the phone number. Some of y'all ask about it, and give them a call. Okay. Let me talk a few minutes on scalloping. We give a sort of report. It's been a great year. I made this post on Facebook. Let me show you. Let me show you this post I made on Facebook because it sort of explains everything. If I can find it. I don't guess I can find it, but here it is right here. Okay, here it is right here. I made this post Monday. Okay. Our 50th consecutive summer scalloping in St. Joe Bay. I've always said this same prayer when I entered the water and got my first scallop. Quote, thank you, Lord, for this beautiful and pristine bay and for the gift of these amazing scallops. And that's what, that was last week on our first trip, and I've always want to get in the water. I'm very thankful. I don't know, I guess maybe being submerged underwater, maybe have a flashback to being baptized or something. When I go underwater and see all that, it's just still many years, and we've been blessed to be able to do this in that beautiful area. But what I want to talk to you about, we went back to, we made a big circle, okay? So it was just Gail and I. We actually went behind the house and just caught up a little bit back there, get enough to eat and all. We didn't do any serious scalloping. We just got enough to eat. But I wanted to encourage you to do it. You don't have to have a boat or anything. And the basic things. The big thing, the full mask that I showed you 2 weeks ago, that was a gift. That full mask, I tried it out for the first time. I love it. It really works good. I will never go back to anything else. I will always use a full mask as long as I can go underwater. So I do a lot of these, when a situation like that, I got time to spend around the Cape, I go look myself for scallops, and I've scouted them out. And then on Tuesday, when it opened last Tuesday, we were out there first thing, and I always get a kick out of that open morning. But later on after lunch, I went to I do what they call exit interviews. These, you see on these political shows, they exit interview after the polling places and all. I've done exit interviews since I've started scalloping, so I just go around to different places and talk to people. So I go down the stump hole, spend 30, 40 minutes there talking to people, leaving and all. And I'm just kind of guy who loves talking to people, especially at a boat ramp. It's just something cool about a boat ramp, talking to people. So I talked to them, then I went down to State Park a little while, at St. Joe State Park, and it's coming along, but it's slow. And I did exit interviews there. Well, it was interesting. The first 3 boats I talked to at St. Joe, the first boat was from Mississippi, okay? The second boat was from Tennessee, and the third boat was from Alabama. They came over. The Mississippi folks were real nice. They came from around the Bay St. Louis area, Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. All 3 of those people trailered the boats. The Tennessee people from northeast Alabama, I thought it ironic. The first 3 people at State Park were out of state and brought their boats down here just to go scalloping. They did okay. Of course, they were excited going on. I talked to all 3 of them. So I did exit interviews there, and then also down at Stump Hole. I want to tell you, people say where to go if I was going to go this week and just coming in for the first time. The most scallops I saw were around the Stump Hole. Now, I didn't get around the Brax Island people. I will do that coming up this week. But we did it an old-fashioned way. We just walked out there and just scallop. We scalloped less than an hour, but we got enough. But what I want to tell you, I feel very strong about the Stump Hole, and because what happened, it's not just a kayak launching area. I showed this the other day on the. Here it is right here, on the fishing report, okay. On the fishing report, I talked about the Stump Hole. I want to spend a little bit of time on it because it reminds me about Gail and I in the early days when the kids were little, and we'd just wade out and go scalloping before we could afford a boat. When we just, okay, here's the Stump Hole. Let me zoom in on it, okay. It says canoe and kayak. Okay, on the left, let me zoom in on the left. See the rocks? That's the Gulf of Mexico right there, and then the Cape Road. But you park, I counted 17 vehicles parked right there, 17. But what you can do, you can walk down here, okay? You don't have to have a kayak, just keep walking on out. There's a little depot right there. But then walk out there and just do some serious scalloping. And the folks coming in Tuesday had a good mess of scallops, a lot of them did. You walk around, it's knee deep, move around the holes. But I really encourage you to, if you don't have a boat and you just want to go out there and do some scalloping, and that's exactly where to go. That's where I'd recommend going. That's where I would be going if my kids were little, or put a life jacket on. But what you need to do is take something that floats. The old timers had a tub, a big old inner tube with a wash tub in it. You can do anything that floats. You can put your stuff in it. try to have a 5-gallon bucket. This is a Cadillac a 5-gallon bucket because it has a handle. I picked this up at Seopa, and then it has the, I think I showed you the other end where you pick it up like that. Okay, now, but also what we do, I don't know if you can see it right here, right there, that says 4. That's 4 gallons. We mark 4 gallons because that's our limit between the two of us. We keep dumping them in until we get there, and we know we've got 4 gallons. So it was really, we made a full circle from early days. Gail and I wading out from St. Joe State Park 50 years ago, wading out getting scholars with the kids little, and then we also made I built a canoe, went to canoe, and then we got a little boat, then a bigger boat, and then we made a circle back. And a lot of times we just sort of walking out, sometimes with or without a kayak, just walking out. So it's fun all kind of ways, but I just want to let you know, you folks coming down from Chattahoochee or Sneeds and just want to walk out, go to the stump hole. It's a beautiful place. You can stand there right there where I was talking about. You can stand there. I told Gail when I said, look here, I could throw a rock and hit the Gulf of Mexico. I'll turn around and throw a rock and hit St. Joe Bay. Is that special or what? Okay, so don't forget that's a great spot. Let's take our final break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. So glad you're with us this morning. Fishing Game Time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers this morning from 8:10 to 10:10. This evening, 8:35 to 10:35. Finishing up on the boat ramps and all. I go back to when I was a little kid, and I remember my dad, my granddad especially, and Dad talking to Aubrey Whitehead at Whitehead's Fish Camp down in Theologian. I was about that high, but at the boat landing, they would just stand and talk to him. I think that just made an impression on me, and I did. In fact, that's where Tony Bass, who's just a dear friend of ours now, we met at the St. Joe boat ramp. He just came, he was by himself. He had an old boat up there he redone. I said, hey, that's a nice looking boat. And that's how we became friends almost 20 years ago. We fishing all together. So boat ramps are special to me. You could do stories on boat ramp. I did want to mention, if I could give a number, I always try to do a number 1 through 10 on scalloping. Last year I think would have been about an 8. This year, just briefly, exit interviews and a little bit that we've done, I would give this year's number, you ready? I do the drum roll each year. I'm giving this year's number 6, okay? Some folks are finding them and are doing well and others having to move around a lot. So probably around a 6, and it's going to be, the sooner you get out there, the sooner you're going, the more you're going to find, because it's going to be a lot of pressure. Okay, so I wanted to mention that. Also, I didn't finish my picture. I got a few more pictures to show you. Real quick, I just ran across this. I've always been an arts and craft kind of guy, and I just think this is real cool right here. Isn't that cool? The old rusty wrenches and make something like a fish. Okay. Forrest Massey down in Carabel. She went red fishing out in Louisiana with Griffin Charters. Okay. And red fishing. I want to go on a trip like that out there. I would go tuna fishing, but red fish is something else. There she is. Good job, Forrest. Nice fish right there. Okay, how about this one? I finally found the square root. I'm going to send this to the kids because remember square roots in math always hard. Our buddy Sherwin Prowse down at Howard Creek. Emily, look at Emily and Sherwin. Did they catch a nice mess of fish out of Howard Creek? Good job, Sherwin and Emily. Okay, and also one more down that way too. Off the feeder creek going into the big river. Terry down at Blue Water. This is before picture. He said that's all he wanted to catch. He could have caught a lot more. You see what he caught it on, that little beetle spin. This is before picture, and this is after picture. Man, don't that look good? That'd be good for breakfast. And one more fishing picture. Our buddy Lawrence Sledge, my big fishing buddy. They caught these August the 16th. Look at that mess of fish right there. All fills up the whole table. When I tell you on the fishing report the freshwater fish are biting, then that's exactly what we're talking about. Okay, I've got several other things. One other thing too. I want to read the whole email from Brett Donner. This is talking about the Wings of Florida. When Ken Paramore was on the show the other day, talking about the birds and all. Brett sent this. He lives up there on Compass Lake, and he had this app, and this is the app I was telling you about. You put on your phone and you listen to the birds and all. So, Brett, I appreciate you talking about that. He put it on the back porch at Compass Lake. anyway, the Wings of Florida, that's part of the bird watching. There's so many things to do here in the Panhandle, it's mind-boggling, but there's so many positive things to get out and do things like that. So I did want to mention that. All right, tomorrow's show, we're going to finish up on our scalloping. I got a little scallop video, and then we also have some tips and all on scalloping. So also on Wednesday's show now, Steve Shea will be coming on. At this time, he's going to talk about alligators. And you saw the attack. I know you saw the attack last week. If you didn't see it, try to find it. It was phenomenal because it was a picture from a drone. It showed the guy swimming and the gator swimming straight at him, and the gator just opened up his mouth and clamped down on him. And the guy survived. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw that. And they interviewed the guy. He made national news and all. I think it happened actually in South Carolina. But anyway, Steve is going to come on Wednesday. We're going to talk about the gators and gator hunting, and he knows a lot about the gators, their habits and all. It's going to be an interesting show. Then Thursday, I have a special guest coming on talking about her dream bucket list, and she was able to take one of these trips. So big week coming up here on Panhandle Outdoors. So y'all have a great day today. I always appreciate the feedback from y'all. Do something good today for your fellow man. Have a great day. Enjoy the outdoors, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.